keep the shit loud.
Maybe that's what life is. Hey man, two drink, two blunt, who yeah, who care, who there, do what, the hell, we want, pay you, motherfucker, sister, pay you, you bad, you both, top T, boy please, you next, you go, who's that, your number, turn up, who go, I make sacrifices, bloody sacrifices.
Nigga all red from the north with the power. It ain't Santa Claus, brought my gifts to Atlanta, I'm Atlanta Claus. I can smell you pussy with a panties off. We getting to the bread, trying to keep the shit low. But it ain't working, my shark on fire like a shark is not. Around the same niggas I've been around, so of course I endorse my ratchet little nigga from the north side. It's a steam team, got port side. Other bitch forgetting to do it all, so of course I gotta push my opinion on the dance when you walk past.
Oh, bro, that shit groovy. Hey.
Niggas full strings like a we talk, G-star jeans on my sneakers. I'm a real soulful nigga, color greens inside your speakers. Ferguson days on cash flow, wasn't no cash flow, but I'm good for the arts, I'm about to show. So I'm good for your heart, let me snap the show.
Bloody sacrifice. Yeah. Hey, look at what a motherfucker do for the cash and take. They'll be right across your head like it's Ash Wednesday. You got told. Just get off your ass like your ass is fake. You can't sit, and if we ain't siblings, then I can't relate. Today's shit, I'm A-sick, I run shit. I got it jumping like Pompeii. I don't need nothing but one take. I'm from the part of the city where young nigga keep 'em on like 1+8. I'm politician and fuck fade. Corrupt like a dog-pound gangster. We do it like a small town wager. I'm the dropout major. Success stories I favor. Used to cover my scars out here trying to cover the fader. Yeah, Pro Tools, Nas and the faders. Tail pics, assalamu alaikum. You ain't about static like AM radio. Ain't even playing. I put my heart in my all in my art. I'm arting it. All of them are the same. It's harder to tell them apart. Some days I thought I'd call them out all together rather than waste the amount of bars it'll take for me to call them out by name. Caught a glimpse of the alternate world I've introduced to you via the studio. Got them studying on mixtape. I'm from the hood like my mama, put that on my mama. I laid the law down like Parliament, all just with a pen and page. I make sacrifices, bloody sacrifices.
Can't be everything to everybody. I wanna be your lover, your best friend, your Batman, Spider-Man, fight the pilot, shooting out your rivals in. I wanna damn near kill you to be the one to heal you up. I wanna be the one to fill you up. On nights when you need good to cheer you up. I wanna be the one to build you up. Oh, I'll worth $5 billion to keep out the rah-rah and the blah blah blah, so nobody try to steal your thunder, pull your under, toss my hopes out, Royal Rumble, we done moved out to the boondocks, built a big house. There he wonders, house and weather, long the way he went from Huey to Eddie Munster. I've been so disconnected, my perspective is ignorant. When you rich niggas don't wanna correct you, say something crazy, they won't interject. Do every drug that you want, they gon' let you. Dangerous when there's nobody to check you, I be at to check myself. Nigga, stop hoarding that money, you know you got plenty, I be at to spread my wealth. I used to be at the crib myself, 7 years old, off a Red Boulevard, with a bag of the raw. They gon' stand on the corner, one hand on their balls, and they ran when the cops come, there go the laws. And I packed up a bag and I tracked it up north on the path of a star. And I ran into you like I met you before, now damn me and you, going half on the boys sing.
Hugging the block all day. I had nowhere to go. She gave me a place to stay. She gave me a heart to hold. I still got that shit to this day. She riding with me on the road. She riding with me in the A. Hugging the block, okay. She gave me the gift of my son, and plus we got one on the way. She gave me a family to love, but that I can never repay. I'm crying while writing these words. The tears they feel good on my face. Hey. And yesterday could feel just like a waste, yeah. If I don't love you, I'm supposed to. And yesterday could feel just like a waste, yeah. If I don't love you, I'm supposed to. I make sacrifices, bloody sacrifice.
Last night, I dreamt of the wildest. Say last night, I kept on myself shit. I checked on my health shit. I finished the bottom. I slept with my conscience. I did the unthought of. I cut off my phone, see. I walked in the crowd then. I stopped for a picture. I felt so alone. And last night, I wrote what I want in life. And last night, I swallowed my own advice. I called up my backup, told all of them to back up, and worked on my manhood. The pussy was damn good. I prayed to my God. I walked with the people. I loaded my weapon. She told me to ease up.
Crowd of faces I put on, to be seen is all we want. All these freaks come out these zones, just to be or not belong. When it's darkest before dawn, if it's quiet not for long, tell the sun I'm on my way. I'd like to see what I like. I dreamt of my past life, woke up with the morning wood, forever misunderstood. Walk up to the corner store knowing I ain't want nothing. I cop a lighter and bust a move. Always got too much to do, always on the way somewhere. Out of spaces, the face I wear, take the bullshit away somewhere. Spot the imposter, my patience in it, the angel hair. Don't touch the ashtray, I put the last of my faith in there. And last night, yeah, while my body was home, allowed my mind to be gone. Couple texts from my exes, and I still ain't respond. Never feeling no pressure to be up, pressing no buttons. Always facing my death, tell the reaper to run it. If you don't know why you here, that RIP won't mean nothing. I done seen too much, watch the queen turn junkie like Billie Jean, trying to fix a broken heart with a broken rubber. Yeah. Crowd of faces I put on, to be seen is all we want. All these freaks come out these zones, just to be or not belong. When it's darkest before dawn, if it's quiet not for long, tell the sun I'm on my way.
Okay, everybody wanna be a nigga, but nobody wanna be a nigga when it's time to be a nigga. If you think it is sad, we can see a nigga. Please be clear, I rhyme, I do not mind. Read, I write the beat, and have your girl write the C train to me to write the D and give me brain. And you can see the stains I place upon the sheet, or you gon' come for me. Well, my nigga, you better have known me at least. More than a gun for me. I'm more than a man, not a guy, but the boy is a man. We ignore the noise from the outlander. Stand out with the cannon, outstanding, South Bandit. Don't panic, please. Cause if I get nervous, we get us dirty. Niggas start
Okay, nigga down. Nigga from, nigga slum, blue tongue, red tongue, nigga flavors. Go ahead, son, get you some. Nigga got a lot of gifts, but package store was always open. Jailhouse don't never close, and my worldview was always shut. Trap spot was always bunk, and neighborhood was always crunk. See, I was outside risking snake eyes with my life chances. Stakes high, only outlet with the moonwalk. Michael Jackson dances, so shake a job, nigga. What's a 9 shoot behind the line? My only advances. USA eat me like a cancer. UK eat me like a cancer. Getting money and they tag the crib ass King James with the fucking answer. Still a nigga out in Calabasas. Still a nigga when I greet the masses. Over office presidential rashes. When I fuck my white girl and I meet a daddy. I know deep down inside man, he hate that shit. Plotting for the perfect time to bury me. Nigga, please show them the green like a caddy. Verena, Serena, them daddy. But that shit don't change my appearance. Asians like that's my nigga. Latins like that's my nigga. White folks like that's my nigga. Till it's time to die, bye bye nigga. And I don't get offended. I was just giving you hard time. Come to your block and you hard line. Why did I come at the wrong time? But see, I sent comments to the earth. Me, I was humming at your birth. I put colors on the spectrum. I let you assign them worth. Looking for peace in America. Looking for peace when I stare at you. Looking for peace in America. Looking for peace when I stare at you. I be looking for peace in America. Looking for peace when I stare at you. Oh. Looking for peace when I stare at you.
You know I'm here for the nigga shit. Whole life been nigga is. And my mama let a project nigga hit. Set it up so when I meet the reaper hard, let my son read the benefits. Nigga shit on social media, or get a nigga pinched and up in the pen. Surrender your independence till the sentence finished. Even with no pot, you gotta cut the pissing. Burning bridges with my tunnel vision. Bitch, you leave niggas fuck cunnilingus. For me like a nigga non-existent. No negativity. Why you being silly? Fucking with me, giggity. When I'm in the city, the dark you living. Now this is I'm finna be. I just wake up and do shit differently. I can never say that is my ability. Long as wasting niggas, they want finna me. Nigga lost faith and put on me. I just tuck them in the back of my memory. One monkey don't stand up, show my niggas got goals and responsibilities. So you know about any means, really mean any and everything to the team. Nothing off limits, nigga. Ain't gon' keep shit clean. Me and my niggas, them niggas that they should've never let go free. Niggas got me talking to my teeth, like I'm 50 Cent and all 3. Ain't no cool to kids, nigga told me what they told me, what it's gonna be.
Looking for peace in
What's up, y'all? Got another week. Let's go. All right, we're about to get into it. Markets are nice and, volatile already. We got some action right off of the open of the week. So good movement, good momentum. I'll go over a little bit about yesterday, but I'll do that after we're ready for today's session. So we'll be ready for New York Open here in about 14 minutes. Hope you guys had a little bit of time to reflect on last week, get yourself right in the markets, kind of get a good overview of what your perspective is, maybe your bias for the week. And yeah, big thing before we just kick things off. As always, I like to give y'all reminders. I'm just here to set the right tone for our trading environment, our mental state, our expectations. So close the loops on whatever you had going on last week. If it was great, if some things could have gone better, if you wish it would have gone different, that's all good. And let's just focus on crushing it this week. Crushing it, not even the whole week. Let's just make the next trade flawless. All right, so let's have the greatest day of our lives. And let's see what these markets got for us. We have another opportunity today to put our skills to the test, to put the best version of us in play, and make some greatness happen over here. So let's get the charts up and running. Cool. All right, and for those of you that are starting fresh accounts this week, think about what did you do before this fresh account, whether it's you funded a live account, you started a new prop account. I will say this, I know TopStep is making some changes to like the max payout per withdrawal. on the 50Ks and 100Ks. I believe they're making those changes to accounts if you buy an account after tomorrow. So if you want the option, the potential to pull out 5K per withdrawal, up to 5K, I think up to like tomorrow or so, whatever. So I don't have a code with them or nothing. Can't help you there. But just to bring that up. Otherwise, obviously, guys, you have, we have pretty good premium discounts with other companies. But yeah, let's just start fresh, right? If you're starting a new account this week, or you're continuing, just you're not here to make up for anything. You're just here to deliver the highest quality you have right now. All right. So with that being said, let's get into it. Here. What's up, Leon? We got Jay in the house. Yes, sir. What's up, Carolina, Jose, Jeff, Zoe, Gabriel, Patrick. Let's get it. Joe, Brandon, Karen, Ruben, Ibrahim. We got Yoslin in here. Seth, Harshi, Fernando, Luis, Amy, Isaiah. We got D Trading, Adar, Jonathan, Hazley. Man, good to see it. It's crazy, bro. We've been connected now for a real long time. Kazakhstan in the house. I see Texas in here. The UK, what's up? Brandon, Foz. Puerto Rico's in here. Giraffe, Greg, buenos dias. We're all over the world over here. What's up, Taylor? What's good? Say what up to the girls for me. Michael. Sup, Omar. We got Barbados in here. I mean, it's crazy. Okay, so what I want to, and remember, for those of you that are newer to trading in general, you feel like you're stuck in the same place for way too long as a beginner, or if you're just doing the futures, we do have our fast track webinar Wednesday evening. You've probably been seeing me spam y'all in your emails, so you already know. But all right, so what's up? We got a lot of movement just to kick off this week. Oh man, anyone trade yesterday? Let me know in chat if y'all traded yesterday. Off right basically when the market opened. I stayed away from the drop itself, and following this movement to the downside, and when we started to stall into here, that kind of brought the market into pretty interesting zones. Like a lot of our Friday zones didn't happen Friday; they ended up happening Sunday on open. So yeah, I was looking for a shakeout after we took out the low and kind of came back into here, and this just missed me, just for it to go absolutely insane. So yeah, that was great. And then while that was happening, I initially was liking, YM did play out. Whatever. NQ was the one that I knew had more momentum. But then, gold started to kind of approach the zone, and so did silver and oil, right? So I had a lot of different areas. I ended up taking an oil trade right around here. And then when NQ started to do its thing and really started to go, I ended up just taking profit pretty early because we didn't have, NQ was ripping, oil was slowly going down. So it's all right, it doesn't have the momentum that I would want. It's not the leading mover, so I'll just take what I can get there. And then gold, we talked about the zone on gold, but silver still had more to go, so I decided to not really do too much there. So with that being said, what does that bring us to now? So now we got to see great structure. So let's zoom out first. Right? Where are we in the grand scheme of things with NASDAQ? NASDAQ, all-time highs. Just ripping. All right. Understood. 15-minute structure with NQ here. Well, okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the prior structure that we're seeing here on the 1 hour. So 4 hour daily, extremely bullish. And then we have, this last real swing low over here. So Thursday, April 23rd, New York session, huge spike down before continuation. We haven't worked our way down to here yet. So this is definitely something to keep an eye out as a major reversal for the week. So at some point during this week, I wouldn't be surprised if we finally work our way back down for a deeper pullback. We haven't seen too much aggressive movement outside of Thursday. So everything has been pretty smooth. The retracements were deep on Thursday and then just continue to rally. So as much as I know, because we've been so bullish on indices, people want to sell these things. People are dying to short. They want to catch the big crash down. So can we? Can we crash? Can we catch it? Well, maybe. But you don't have to force it. Okay, the big move can come a little bit later. Now this week, remember, we have FOMC on Wednesday. So Wednesday, FOMC, and yes, I will be live for that. And then after that, we have PCE on Thursday, but that's basically it. So not a lot going on this week with scheduled fundamentals. Now, if you don't really know how to work your way around fundamentals, how do I trade them? What should I be ready for? If that's something that's kind of new to you, then you can go check out my videos. I have a video all about trading news here. So if you haven't seen it and you want to check it out, then feel free to check it out here. I'll just drop it in the chat. That's all about trading news, whether it's scheduled or unscheduled. And I know the syndicate, we went over some trading, an advanced training on that on Friday. So syndicate squad, if y'all didn't catch that or haven't seen that recording, definitely go check it out. Okay, so big picture, I do think we can work here. That's a good point. So we do have some big players with earnings reports and yearly announcements as well. So Google, Amazon, and a few others. So that's actually really important to talk about. And typically those come end of day. So expect, if you're in a setup and you're like, man, there's a lot of liquidity. We could, be working. What if can the market give me an end of day rally? There are some earning reports that could give that, kind of give you that push that you're looking for. So, okay, cool. So great, we can work our way all the way down to here at some point, but that also doesn't mean we can't keep making some moves to the upside anyways. That just because this probably should happen at some point this week doesn't mean it needs to happen now, right? And that's an important distinction. So what else do we have? Now, we had this London session sell-off here on NASDAQ. And I'm going to go into Dow. I'm going to look into S&P. I'm going to look at metals. I'm going to look at oil. So, no worries, all right? Don't trip. But we have a pretty decent sell-off here that we can get into. I would say that we did clean up some of these lows here, but there's an imbalance. So I will be managing my trades pretty effectively if we do play into this zone. On, let's see, this trade. All right. And then we had a last push down here on Friday that then rallied. So should we go and investigate this Friday movement and see, okay, is there actually a clean enough movement to expect reversal out of here? So on Friday, we see one final push down, clearing a little bit of liquidity. So you kind of see some lows. You get a little bit of here, you get a little bit of here. So sure, you had a little bit of low, and then you see one push down before the market just goes on an absolute mission. So I think context is going to be really important with any kind of buy within this zone. And here's what I mean by that. I want to make sure that's understood. Naturally, you need the more liquidity that's available, the more money that can work its way into the market. So for example, if we pull back down to, let's say, this area for NASDAQ, but let's say Dow or S&P don't really sweep any liquidity, then like, you know, there's not really much that we can do. So like if NASDAQ comes down into the zone, but YM really isn't doing much, it doesn't have like a big sweep or anything like that, then there's really no point. There's like, you're looking to take a very small area of rejection instead of waiting for a pretty key area. So cool. NQ right now for buys, we'd have to work our way pretty far down and then also see context. And then considering sells, I'm not looking to sell NQ yet. There is liquidity sitting up here, so can something drive us all the way over to here? It's definitely possible. You have the lows of the week here as well, so definitely, like, if we're gonna swing some buys this week, getting below the open of the week, working our way down to some key levels is gonna be important. But right now, there's not necessarily, for me, there's not a key area where we could expect reversals with NASDAQ. Now, Dow, on the other hand, Dow did not have the same type of movement that NQ did. It did give a nice bounce to NQ. And here's New York Open, so we're starting to see some bullish movement. But yesterday, and I know I was talking about sells on Friday, and we had, our entry was so perfect that, at least for me, it didn't open. I think a couple of you got triggered in, but it was literally precise to the absolute tick, and I guess that was an issue. So anyways, right now, we've had more and more trend line liquidity. This broke through, and now we're starting to pump up higher. So what we're seeing is that we're finally trading above the Tokyo high, London high. We are breaking into this gap, this imbalance over here. So these are pretty good areas where the market could get exhausted. Again, if you're taking a look at where we're at with NQ, these are moving in opposite directions. All right, these are moving in opposite directions right now. Typically, when we have that with, if NASDAQ and Dow move in opposite directions, then you can expect them to kind of come back together. So at some point, however, the key thing is what actually gives you the entry. What gives you an opportunity to take a position? For Dow Jones, I believe we've already been mitigated and efficient over here. So I don't necessarily believe there is an entry sitting in any of this range. Now you could go look at maybe we have something sitting over here. Here's the 1 minute on Dow. You have a nice final spike up here before things drop. So let's see. Could Dow want to play out of this zone? Maybe. Yeah. Trade out of here. There's definitely some potential. I wasn't looking to sell out of these ranges because of what we had already seen before with Dow over here. We already traded up to mitigate this spike. We talked about this sell, right? This is the exact one that we were saying. So right now, the only area that would look good for a sell would be right here. The downside is that every time the market has tried to make a lower low, it is failing to do so. It is failing to make any demand whatsoever. It's this Dow Jones. YM is Dow Jones. Estos son futuros. So, yeah, Dow is at 30. So this is what we're looking for here. I think we could see shorts. Obviously, NQ has now worked its way down to where I originally had my limit for the buys. So I wanted to trade out of this area. We haven't quite broken below these lows, so I kind of want to see NQ, NASDAQ. So if you see NQ here, this is NASDAQ. I want to see where we go. It looks, so NAS to me looks like it's dropping less aggressively than Dow is going up. So look at how Dow Jones is ripping, still pushing over to here. So this is what I'm curious about. Are we going to get a rejection at a Friday zone? Or are we going to finally see a break below the weekly low for NQ? So I could see us getting something like this. Come back in, build up some demand, and then rally. This to me seems like a higher probability opportunity than directly going for the short on down. And then if we get another take in the market, we can go ahead and look at, thank you for dropping some resources in there. We can go ahead and take a look at S&P. S&P here, clean move. We have the London high over here. So S&P has been a lot more, hasn't been as volatile, more ranging. So I could imagine S&P taking out the highs for London, trading into, oh my bad, here was the open for the week. So trading into some of this imbalance. Structure has maintained bullish for S&P more than anything. Not exactly giving us any new, any trades though, no setups, at least for me. You kind of see a push up to here during Asian, but I mean, it's pretty minimal. All right, so that's where we're at with indices. Kind of want to see where we get to, whether we break below the weekly open for NQ, or we kind of get to those zones that we were looking at before. Now, metals. Metals over here. So this is gold. Gold's been squeezing and squeezing and squeezing and squeezing. It's just back and forth. So we're not quite getting our break above to really cement highs, right? We're not getting those moves to give us bullish structure. We're not getting really the cleanest setups to confirm bearish trend either. So we're caught in between both sides. So this is where you want to be a little bit more selective, where you might get, the market might break above, briefly and come back up, might break below, briefly and come back up, or break above and come back up. So for right now, with the amount of liquidity that's just building up time and time and time again, you want to be able to really choose your spots. So for example, is there a 5-minute break to the upside yet? Not quite. What's up, Julian? Son futuros, bro. Estos son índices, pero son futuros. Yeah. Por ejemplo, este es oro. GC es oro. Ahorita mira a los recursos que puso ahí Nancy en el chat y ahí vas a literalmente aprender todo lo que necesitas, bro. So this is gold. Remember, GC is gold. So right now, gold gave us a little spike down here during that last push down for Tokyo session. So we saw this nice clean move. And then we didn't quite get up to break above. We filled imbalances and then we started to work our way down. So I'm not 100% convinced that we're going to continue to go higher. This to me is not a high probability setup. Not yet. Silver also very similar in that it's not quite ready for the move. So both of these are indecisive. If anything, I still believe that we see silver want to work its way down into this area before doing anything else. So if I would wait until we get metals all the way down to here before making a setup, for sure. And that leaves us back to oil, which again, more choppiness, more indecisiveness. So you don't have to trade today. If you don't see like a sick setup, perfect. It follows all your things, and you don't have to trade yet. You don't have to. And I want you to tell me right now and put it in the chat. Like, are you seeing a textbook opportunity for yourself? Or do you feel like you're not really sure if, like, you didn't get the structure that you wanted to see? You didn't, you know, like, how well does everything look? Because sometimes you just have to decide, like, yeah, no, it's just not great. Not yet. Exactly. Not yet. Close, but not quite. So here, NQ is what's kind of setting up for me right now. It looks pretty decent. Sadly, this was my entry from before, and this would have been a beautiful trade. But we're seeing NQ trade right into this spike on that it started with New York Open. Some of you may have sold that. For me, that's not it. It dropped down and back up way too quickly to give me confirmation that this is still bearish. So I wouldn't necessarily sell off of New York Open here. I would prefer, and if you obviously you can see this now, this push down, this liquidates London lows and I mean the majority of Asian session. So if we were to basically do what I said the market was showing us, then so we might see something like this. We could, like, we got our push below, we got our move. If we keep building up over here, then a quick spike down is probably a short-lived, it's just a trap, a retail seller's trap before this continues to the upside. So this is a possibility. And let's see how it goes. If you notice, like, we might, if we see Dow still push even higher, because now they're moving away from each other. If we see Dow still pushing higher and higher, then I'm curious to see if we get a trade. So look at how the market cleared the lows, came back up for 1, 2, 3 minutes, and it's just coming right back down. For me, this is a type of setup that has a higher probability of failing. So it looks decent, but I would have needed price to settle up here for longer, show us like, no, we were like that the buyers are in the market at these levels. 2-3 minutes just trading up here after this drop, not enough for me. And considering that we have the lows for the week right below, I'm okay with keeping a little bit of caution there. Totally fine with that. So this happens here, or this happens over here. So one or the other. To me, it looks like it's going to be more like this. So what I'm interested now is if we get a break below the open of the week and the timing of that aligns with this zone over here, then I am open to selling down. So we'll see. Let's see here. Is Dow already making his move? I feel like we're still gonna get another push up. Look at how S&P is still building up liquidity right there. S&P left a lot of money up there. ¿Español? No, no tengo clases en español. Solo aquí, mi broski. Puro inglés y la traducción cuando me la piden. So look at how. So yeah, I wouldn't get in front of this. Not enough proof that the market's ready to go. Because look, you might be directionally accurate. It might reverse and end the day bullish, but it doesn't mean it needs to happen right now. All right. Metals moving similarly, more closely to NQ than anything else. So, all right. Got a lot of liquidity building up over here. All right, and then oil. Oil is what we haven't talked about too much. So oil here, it's struggling to trade above 96, really 96, 70, 60. Like every time the 1 hour has tried to go higher, it is just failing to hold up. But every time it goes lower, it's also failing to hold up. They said, thoughts on 6B cells. All right, I can look at it right now. El único idioma que se importa es de las velas. Así es, Luciano. Así es, bro. So here, right, we're struggling to really create any structure. Creo que hay tecnología que traduce en vivo en YouTube. Si quieren, no sé si encuentran algo por ahí. Sé que aquí tenemos chicos de Rusia que lo hacen, pero en su idioma. So yeah, right now, I feel like we might get one more spike up or something before we get the final, like, a bigger reversal again. Because what I don't like is, one, we basically have equal lows here. So oil buys, I don't love. Oil sells. There's nothing. There's no like big reversal point right now. There's a massive trend line. You have that. So this is a squeeze. Yeah, I don't like it. All right, so you asked me about selling the majors, right? All right, so we're starting to work our way. Look at how Australian has broken through all of its consolidation, finally trading into imbalance. Friday's New York highs from 2 weeks ago, or like 10 days ago. You have the pound that, it has finally got up here. This is a sell that we had talked about in the past, right? We're looking at the market shorting out of this range. And then euro, right? Euro, we were also talking about having sells. So what I like best is over here. This short on euro for me is the one that I'm waiting for, because this was that Friday move. So Friday, April 17th, we have a massive spike up before everything just starts to melt down. And we haven't worked our way back there yet. So pound got up to this order block within this Friday movement and rejected. However, I feel like I like to play it safe with currencies, since they correlate and they move together and whatnot. So I'm gonna wait for euro. So this remains the idea here. But let's go take a look at NQ. We're finally breaking below. So take a look. NQ sitting below the open of the week over here. Wow. That's some shit right there. Meanwhile, Dow was like, no, we're just going to take out New York highs, Friday's New York highs, and then we're just going to bleed out and work our way all the way back. So, crazy work here. So now that NQ took out the open of the week, and we actually saw Dow trade into this sweep of this low. Here was a push, trades up and right back down. So, I mean, it traded up here for 10, 11 minutes. Is this a Dow buy? What do you guys think? Can we buy Dow Jones in this range? Should this be long somewhere? The structure is kind of like, it's mid. So can we get into this area and look for buys? So it's sketchy. I'd say sketchy at best. Right, here's New York Open. I'm going to take a position here. Oh, well, I got logged out. I'm going to take a position here, but I'm going to take a low risk position here. I'm not going to take a full risk position here. I'm going to take a low risk position and then go from there. So low risk, this is half my risk. On some accounts, it'll be even less on others. So 10 minutes is decent. It's not great, but it's decent. The reason I'm okay with taking half risk is because at the same time we broke above, or we broke below liquidity here on the open. Oh wow, NQ actually, his move is a lot better. NQ swept and came right back up. So honestly, I feel like we're gonna end up having a better setup on maybe NQ later. We'll see. But you got out at 1 to 3 on the sell on Dow. Nice. Yeah, it didn't go up high enough, right? I wanted it just a little bit higher to sell Dow earlier. But yeah, I mean, this could be a mitigation. We have just about 100-point sell off. So if we get about 100-point move up here, then I'm open to then I'll be moving my stops. So yeah, I mean that's the trade right now. We have reversed about 40 points, 45 points already. NQ is still pushing lower. So it does look like this is holding up well enough. 50-point reversal so far. Obviously, you guys saw I wasn't even prepping for a buy. I just made an in-time decision based off the context of the entire market. So I'm moving my stop now to into profit here. About 20 points into profit. Again, you guys saw this was not a full risk trade. It was a little bit of a weaker setup, but I was still open to it because of the big picture. So if you're newer to my channel, like, I'm not just trading one indice. I'm trading the spectrum. I'm trading the entire asset class. That makes this a big difference. And then from here, obviously, this was that last push up before the market dropped. So will we keep pushing, or is this game over? Where are we at with NQ? Does NQ want to rally at some point here? So NQ is pushing lower and lower. Still not quite at a reversal zone. And Dow is still moving higher. So I'm going to actually give myself even more profit over to here. Got out of 2 to 1. Nice. Stops to break even. Nice. All right, cool. So that is take profit for me. So that's a wrap. Just that quick. Got out of YM, 5-hour cap, done for the day. Nice. Good stuff, Blipped. This might keep pushing to the zone that we were talking about. Right, we wanted to see the market give that reversal up out of this higher zone. I left for a few seconds and you landed a snipe, bro. I mean, that's how it goes sometimes. So that was what, like a 3-minute trade? How I made $14,000 in 3 minutes. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. Saludos. All right, so S&P, what did S&P do? I just want to get a good perspective on what we had. So yeah, broke the London low. And then, so London lows were broken. So to put the context together, right? We took out London lows, 1. So London lows here. S&P London low swept, check. So you can just duplicate success, right? NQ, open of the week, check. So took that liquidity too. Okay. From here, now things are start to move in unison. I knew that we had a good chance for the market to keep pushing because there was divergence. NQ was still making lower lows. So NQ was doing more of this. While Dow was starting to do more of this. It was starting to hold the structure high. All right. Now these have been moving in opposite directions for some time, and right now it looks like it's still doing that. So, what could happen? I mean, if this comes crashing all the way back down, then, okay, well, we might get a little, this might turn into a shakeout setup or a mitigation setup. Because now we can see a break below a lot of liquidity here. So that's this move. So this breaks a lot of liquidity. What would be really nice is if we are to see a break above. So if we end up seeing the market do this, maintain structure, then we can get a decent move. Maybe a buy in here and then just keep rallying. Something like this would be great. So let's see what happens. Let's see if we, let's see how things go. Now, what would it take for us? Would it still make sense to sell up here for Dow? This is Dow trading out of Friday's London high. So selling off of here. Does it still make sense to do that? Well, NQ already took this yesterday, right? This is the buy that missed us by just a hair. It took this out on it took this out on Friday. So NQ's been more bullish overall. So right now I would say if we clear some of this liquidity over here and then that sets up YM, maybe you could have a decent setup. But like I said, don't force anything. We get major reversals across like the asset classes especially when you have different assets giving you more proof. So, porque tienen letras diferentes sus pares. Son los contratos, como son futuros, tienen diferentes contratos con ciertos periodos de tiempo. Futuros no son CFDs, no es como lo que muchos operan con MetaTrader. Es un poco es similar, pero son regulados en Estados Unidos. And then, funny enough, metals didn't do anything during any of this. So they were just kind of chilling. So we had the right choice. Made the right call here. And remember what I said, how when you see indices kind of trading away from each other, like they're moving inverse related, like they're just one's going up, one's going down, that they end up kind of circling back to the same place anyways. Yeah, that's what we're seeing right now. So all of a sudden now NQ is taking up more bullish momentum and Dow is starting to get a little choppy. So now Dow is lagging behind on the move. So I wouldn't be surprised if this Dow setup works. If NQ is taking liquidity over here, because now this would be clearing out, you know, this buildup, this structure high that we saw here. S&P is also has this liquidity. Remember, I told y'all, like, we'll come back for this at some point. Don't worry, we'll come back for that. Then we see S&P clear this. We see NQ clear those highs. And then that even sets up YM for sells. Could be the case. So, I mean, yeah, great start to the session. Obviously, it wasn't what I had prepared you guys for. I mentioned it instantly in the beginning, like, oh, look at this liquidity sweep here for Dow. But it wasn't what I thought was going to be setting up, because I kind of wanted to see a little bit longer. I would have taken a full risk trade on this if we would have had just a few more minutes of bullish structure. But all right, that was our trade there. And then the possible short is over here. All right, if you are a newer trader and you have no idea how anything just happened right now, then make sure you're checking out you register for this fast track that we're going to be doing here soon. If you don't know what that is, we have a webinar where we're going to break all that down for you. So check this thing out here. Click that link, register there just to see what it's all about, and then make a decision. We should be following tech stocks mainly? I'm watching Navarrete. Do you need to follow it? Not necessarily. For what? Like, for what reason? Follow it to, like, can you elaborate what you mean? Like, why would you need to follow it? For investing, so that you know how to trade NQ? For what reason exactly? The biggest market cap is what's going to move the most, for sure. We will back up over 7. Snap another 5.5% pump today. Intel another 5% move today. $7%. What's this one? Panasonic. Yo, okay, here's a random story for y'all, but here's why sometimes you can't sleep on people. All right, babe, I think it was with you. But do you remember we were in a random Uber in Texas? And I don't remember when. But there was this guy who went, it was a decent Uber. And he was just like, his car was relatively beat up. But he was like investing in Panasonic. And he went on a whole tangent about Panasonic. Yeah. You remember that, right? And so he was going off about Panasonic, and he had this whole like thesis built upon it and how it was going to go crazy, undervalued, people just don't see it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, listening to this guy, and he's spitting game. And so I remember that, and I was like, all right, cool, like, let me check it out. But Panasonic is not a U.S. stock, so it's a whole ordeal to even pick it up. But the dude had it, like the dude nailed it, like called it out. This thing's up like 3x since in the last 3 years. So it's cool. I like to see it. Like sometimes, the follow the masses is not always, it typically never really serves you. But if you ever hear someone really passionate about something that you don't understand, then, don't assume the worst. All right, if it sounds curious, it's piquing your interest, just go, go explore. Be curious, ask questions, do your own due diligence. All right. But, so yeah, I still don't understand what you're asking me about NVIDIA or about tech stocks, like what your actual question is. But if you're looking to do something like relating to options or futures, then yeah, keep your eye out on all the big guys. For example, NASDAQ is sitting at all-time highs, basically. And Nvidia here is really close to taking them out. So you can see how Nvidia is actually a little bit lagging in that section, in that sector. So like, oh yeah, and definitely like people are gonna show you stocks, crypto, whatever. Like they're gonna just like buy whatever random coin that they secretly created and own a whole bunch, and they're just gonna dump on you. So yeah, I mean, we definitely have. I think we have another move, another leg up here, and then maybe we start to see something. So be mindful there. You can clearly see a good setup here with Nvidia, big sell-off right there, and then a reversal. So 15-minute structure looks clean here. You can see some mitigations here. This is from Thursday, so 23rd, push down, rally. Let's see where we're at here. Look at how we end up, how we close the hour, folks. Below weekly open of the week, boom. Microvision. What's Microvision? So clear sweep below, not quite breaking highs yet. Dow ran out of gas once it went all the way back up to here, coming back down. All right, we're chilling there. Microvision. What is Microvision? Live music industry. Let's see. From a chart perspective, that's all I can really tell you. I mean, it's trading around COVID prices, so oh my, this thing went crazy. Looks like it caught that like COVID rally and it went absolutely bananas. Oh my god, this thing did like a 1050x. That's pretty gnarly. Rallied again to hit the order block and then dumped. Yikes. I don't know anything about it. So if I was looking at technicals, is it in a good area? Sure, for pickups. But I don't know anything about it. So look at how oil here. Oil, this is where the market swept below. So this is the lows from a couple hours ago. Right now it's filling in balance. Could the market reverse? Sure. Is this a textbook setup? No. So why not? Well, the market starts to fall off from here, builds up some more liquidity, one more push down. So if this was going to be a shakeout setup, then I would want to see the market break the highs, or it would have not fully filled in balance, but it did, right? It fills all of the imbalance and gets above before then falling off again. So not quite there for me to take. I'm not convinced on that. More than likely, the market's going to want to come down to like somewhere over here. So I think these ranges for the day, I think these get taken out. So we might go lower there on oil. I have no decision on oil. I think we need to see oil break out somewhere and then get more clarity there. ES buys. Let's see. Market dumps below. Worked its way fully rebalances up here. But the demand is great over here. So if the market were to work its way back down, and yeah, I could see the buys for sure. All right, this is the sell-off. So you see huge dump. Here you get the market to prove like it wants to stay up here. The way NQ is ranging now, does that validate the buy shakeout for NQ? So NQ is a little bit is weird because if we wouldn't have broken, okay, so you see how this is where the sell-off starts, like, or I guess right here it starts, comes back up, and then dumps again. So it's like this is kind of where everything starts to go to hell. Just drops, comes up, drops again. Well, we broke above here. Typically with shakeouts, I prefer when they don't break where the sell-off starts. So that's why, weirdly enough, S&P looks better. Because the sell-off starts up here, this doesn't break below and then drop. So right now I prefer S&P because like for example here, NQ, what NQ could be doing is that it's, you see how it breaks and then comes back down. So for some, this is kind of tricking, like breaking above structure. Oh, now it's bullish and it can run. So it's possible. It's just, is it 100? Is it A plus? No. If these highs would have stayed below this, then I would have liked better. But that was not the case. So that's why, for some reason, which is pretty rare, S&P looks like a better buy. Now you could choose NQ, especially if it's like, let's say, dropping less aggressively. You can make the call to go with NQ instead. But even then, I actually don't think that's the case. Look at this. NQ's about a 50% pullback. S&P is like at a 38.2. So something like this looks decent. And then take out the highs. 2.4R. Oh, that's not, I don't want to risk 5,000 per account. That wouldn't really go well. Yeah, let's just do 170 contracts. Profe, ya no tiene comunidad en español. Pues la mayoría de la comunidad aquí es en inglés, pero pues aquí hay chicos que también están por aquí en español. En verdad están activos los que utilizan. Entonces, pues actívense. Eso es todo. Actívense. Tenemos aquí recursos en español, entonces tenemos todo el curso gratis, Tradetopia español, por aquí, que lo pueden tener también. Done. All right. So, yeah, I mean, I'll just kind of respond to whatever happens. If now, for example, we start to hold bullish structure better, then maybe we go back to NQ and we look for buys lower. Or right now, maybe we see S&P come back down, then we'll look for S&P for the entry. So we'll play it by ear. I'll have alerts set if we start to get a little bit closer. Okay. What I want to do is I want to do another recap here on majors super quick. So remember, we're still waiting for Euro. where also Mexican peso has a similar setup too. One of these, peso or euro, look the cleanest to sell. Bitcoin leaving a lot of liquidity up here at right below 80K. So 79,500. It's got quite a bit of action over here. And you got the order block and then the slightly lower zone for mitigation. All right, let's see any other questions. Oh, y'all chilling. Y'all chilling today. Cool. How many of you caught that like lightning in a bottle YM buy with me? I know that was so fast to be able to take that. But anybody catch up with me? Let me know. Would be pretty cool if you did. Got it to our nice. Nope. Okay, that's okay. Mondo, nice. Blipped, didn't take it. Caught for sure. Diba got out too soon. That's okay. Just woke up. Yeah, we took a YM trade. It was very, very fast. We took this one. On live television. Yeah, 100%. What would I rate the quality of the setup out of 10? I'd give it like a 7.5. Yeah. Like, all right, we had the sweep below. We had New York open. The market trades above structure. So you had the market trading above here above a lot of liquidity for 12 minutes. On the 13th minute, it starts to crash below. So 12 minutes of demand. And the reason that I could have, or the reason that I took it at half, and I thought about doing a little more, was specifically because was for the following reason. Number one, NASDAQ had swept a lot of liquidity. It had traded, it got below the open of the week. So since there was a liquidation that already had happened there, like in the same instant there was a lot of money available, that makes reversals more likely. So number one. So that was like, let's say, an extra point. And then S&P at the exact same instant, taking out the London low, was like an extra half point. So now it's like you have extra added confirmation that at least you can get a reversal out of there. So at least it can, just make a pretty significant movement. So yeah, I mean, those are reasons that it kind of helped with this idea. I want to bring some attention to indices real quick though. Right now we saw, for example, NQ is kind of hovering over this 38.2 pullback. And I know we talked about possible S&P buys, but now S&P is starting to be a little bit more bearish. So we'll kind of see. I think I'm going to delete my limit on S&P. No, I think I'm going to keep it. And then I'm just going to watch it though. So be mindful on kind of how S&P is moving, how NQ is moving, and all that good stuff. Got it. Definitely could have been more flexible in taking that for a half hour in hindsight. I documented it though. For sure. Yeah. So on its own, just like 12 minutes above the previous high, is it a ton of structure? For Dow, it's not the most, when you look at this on like the 15 minute, it looks like, oh, this lost a lot of momentum. But even then, we end up closing above these highs. So I thought we had enough for at least a good reversal. Did it mean that we were going to go make all-time break the previous highs? It didn't. It didn't. But I also didn't need to. I didn't need it to break the highs either. So the risk reward was still there. The probability for a great movement was still there. So that is why, like, not just the entry but the exit made it worth the risk in the first place too. Cool. No, yeah, but good questions. I like when you guys are asking these types of questions and kind of getting more clarity on these ideas, especially because that one happened in real time. Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. So as we wrap up, if you don't have the clarity in your system to be able to take things like that, then make sure you're going through what works for you, what doesn't work for you. If you feel like I kind of get in sometimes, I get out, I don't even know like what's good, I hesitate a lot, then you need to work on those things. Like you have to go look back and see, okay, when am I intuitively feeling like these are playing out, and then all right, track them all so you can see if it actually works or not. Sometimes we just keep, one of the things that happen the most to the majority of traders is that they just kind of go with whatever recently worked, and that's it. But that's not it. That's not what's going to long-term give you the ability to do it. I still don't understand shakeouts. Okay. Then yeah, don't take them. Yeah, at that point, like it's not for you to take. Kind of build a thesis around it. But all you need is one good setup. So like that YM trade was a mitigation trade. Like that one was textbook basically. The demand could have just been a little bit longer. But yeah, anyways, announcements wise, guys, this week we'll be live all week. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we'll be here. For FOMC, I will be live. I don't know if I'll be live on YouTube, but yeah, Syndicate will be live for sure with y'all. Because I definitely want to do that session together. So I'll see if I can do it live on YouTube. And then Wednesday we have our fast track webinar at 8 p.m. Central. So if you're here and you're newer to futures, newer to trading, or you've been around trading for a while, but like you feel like you're still in the newbie phase and you're kind of stuck there for whatever reasons, then let us know. So register for that. The link to that is going to be pinned right now. And then if you guys want to share your setups, questions, etc., feel free to drop those in the school community. If you're not in the school community, then all you have to do is go to tradingwithmike.com and you're good. You'll be able to be in our free community where we have all the resources in the world so that you can set yourself up for success as a trader and independently make that happen. Like our goal is to give you more than enough so that you can crush it independently. And if you choose to team up with us and work with us hands-on, it's because you want to accelerate it. Obviously, you don't know what you don't know, right? But either way, we want you to have a fighting chance regardless of what your situation is so that you can go and crush it in this environment, which is just unlimited. Like, that's the coolest thing about trading, is anybody can make it work. Anybody coming from anywhere, from any position, can make it happen. It just may take longer than you expected. Right? This isn't a get rich quick, but it is definitely an amazing opportunity. So stay locked in, guys. I appreciate you all. And share your wins with us. Tag us at Tradetopia. What's our IG? Tradetopia Official? Tradetopia Official on IG. drop your wins in the school community, drop your questions, comments, charts that maybe you're like, hey, is this good? Is it not good? Go ahead and feel free to share those in our community as well. And there will be a giveaway at some point during this week, some 50K accounts for y'all. So those are valued well over $100. So we got a few of those that we'll be giving away. So take care, y'all. Much love, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace out, gang.